What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, spicy, cheesy, smoky, amazing buffalo chicken pizza. That's right, folks, we're cooking some wings on the old Chud Box, pulling the bones out and making a beautiful buffalo chicken pizza just in time for the football game. Coming up. This is some chicken. Pat it dry. And what I've got here is a pile of some chicken wings, the flats of some chicken wings to be more specific, which should work out perfectly for what we're doing today. And that's because today we're knocking out a buffalo chicken pizza, because with the big football game coming up next week, I'm sure I'm going to be cooking up a lot of chicken wings and probably a few pizzas as well. So I figured we might as well combine the two for a buffalo chicken pizza. And of course, you could use whatever cut of chicken you like. You know, some pulled barbecue chicken would be great. You could grill off a chicken breast, a crispy skinned chicken thigh would probably be the easiest way to go about it. But if we're making a buffalo chicken pizza, I think it's only fitting that we use some wings, because they just have the best skin to meat ratio. And I'm using just the flats today because they're really easy to debone once they're cooked. So, before we throw these on the pit, let's get them rubbed up. And per usual, when seasoning wings, I like to do it in a bowl. Just makes life a lot easier. And for our rub, I'm going on with some Chuds BBQ Snake Bite, our all-purpose rub that's got some jalapeno powder and some cayenne and a little bit of vinegar powder. So it works out really well on wings. So we're just gonna go in with a nice healthy dusting and just get these tossed around. But you could use whatever rub you like. You could also go with no rub at all, because this is going on a pizza covered in cheese and sauce and whatnot at the end of the day anyway. But I figured we might as well start building those layers of flavor and help get some good color on these. Not going super heavy, but just a nice healthy dusting. Something like that looks pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and fire up the pit. And on the pit we go. Got the old Chud Box here fired up with some Fogo lump charcoal, rocking right around 300 degrees, which is typically where I like to cook on this pit. And we're simply just gonna go down with all these little wing dings. And you could cook these on whatever you like, you know, a pellet grill, offset, charcoal grill, whatever you got, because really we're just trying to cook these through to the point where we can remove the bones, because I don't know about you, but I don't want a bone-in pizza. But I figured a little direct heat flavor, a little crispy skin action on these can only help our situation. And I definitely don't want to be putting raw chicken on a pizza. So get a little head start in the cooking process and take these up to probably 170, 180 or so internal, which hopefully won't take too long. And while those wings cook away, let's go ahead and get everything else ready, starting with our buffalo sauce. Followed by a quick and easy ranch dressing, which is quite simply 1 cup of mayonnaise, 1 cup of buttermilk, a dash of granulated onion, and then one of these, a ranch dressing packet. And if you've ever wondered why ranch dressing is better at restaurants, it's because this is what they're doing, instead of using the shelf-stable bottle, which has a lot more preservatives and thickeners and stuff in there. And I can tell you from experience that this ranch is way better than the stuff you're gonna get off the room temp shelf. And simply enough, just mix that all together. It's also kind of nice making your own like this, because you can really dial in how thick you want it to be with more or less buttermilk. If you want it in a dip form, you could go less buttermilk, or if you want it a little bit more drizzleable, you could add some more buttermilk. But that's looking perfect to me. We're about 30 minutes into this chicken wing cook and they are looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them a quick little spray with some oil just to help the crispification process. And we'll go ahead and flip all of these over to get some good color on the skin side. But they're looking quite nice. Beautiful. Probably give these another 20, 30 and pull them off. Checking back in on these wings. They've been on the pit for about an hour and they are looking beautiful, nice and crispy, and some beautiful color on there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pull all these off and let them cool down a little bit. Although I do really want to dive into these right now. And now that these have cooled down a little bit, we can go ahead and try and get these pesky bones out of there. And they're just 2 little bones. So I'm gonna try and find the ends, make sure they're not stuck together, and just give them a little bit of a twist. And they should pop right out. Not much to it. And there we go, a perfectly boneless wing. One more time, just kind of grab it, twist it, comes right out. Easy peasy. And now we repeat. And I should mention, you can do this with full wings and you can debone them from raw. You should check out my fully boneless wings video if you want to give that a try for yourself. Great little appetizer. Pain in the butt up front work, but it pays off with a pretty unique eating experience. And honestly, I'm probably going to do some on Sunday. Although pulling the bones out after the fact certainly is a lot easier. And just like that, all deboned, big pile of bones, save those for my next batch of chicken stock. But now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of these and cut them down a little bit, just to make them a little bit more manageable size, a little more bite size for the top of a pizza. Beautiful, looks like a good pile of chicken to me. And with our chicken ready and all of our sauces at the ready, all we need to do now is build the pizza. But for that we need a dough, and luckily I made that last night. Starting with our water, our sugar, and our yeast. And give that a quick little whiskey. And after waiting a few minutes, I can tell that that yeast is in fact alive, so now we go in with our bread flour, as well as some diastatic malt powder. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick little mix. Again, just so we don't send flour everywhere. And then dough spiral goes on, and we're gonna let this come together a little bit more. And once that's all come together into a shaggy ball here, literally mixed for like 45 seconds, I'm gonna go ahead and pop a towel on top of this to make sure it doesn't dry out and no flies or anything get in there. We're gonna let this sit for about 15-20 minutes to autolyze, which is really gonna help with the gluten development, and let all that water and flour come together and absorb. So I'll see you in like 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, we can add our kosher salt and start the kneading process. And while it runs, I'm also gonna stream in some olive oil. And now we're gonna let this knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. Beautiful looking dough, pretty smooth, still a little bit sticky, but that's okay. And now into a greased bowl we go. Boop. And now cover this up and let this start to rise. It's been maybe 2.5 hours on this dough of letting it rise, and every 30-40 minutes I come through and give it the old stretch and fold just like this to help strengthen the gluten and make sure it is a nice, strong, tough dough. And it's starting to look nice and smooth and not too sticky anymore. And out it comes, and now I'm going to portion this into 3 individual balls, all weighing the same amount. And I'm going to punch some of this extra air out of these and get them all rolled up into a nice taut ball. And then into a greased bowl we go. And I'm going to wrap these up and park them in the fridge overnight or up to 3 days for a nice cold fermentation to build up some really good flavor. And after chilling this in the fridge overnight, I pulled this out of the fridge like an hour, maybe an hour and a half ago to bring it up to room temp and take the chill off it. And now it's time to build a pizza. Starting by going down on the table here with some semolina flour and out with our lovely dough. Beautiful. Nice little dusting on top as well. And then we can start pushing it down and forming this into a pie, starting by forming our crust and pushing it and stretching it out. Many ways to go about doing this, folks, just whatever works best for you. And I'm going for a 16-inch pizza today. And if you've seen any of my other pizza making videos, I really like using these screens. This is a 16-inch screen, which lets me know how big to make this pizza, and also takes away all the guesswork from launching it. Probably technically cheating, but you know, makes life a lot easier and yields really good results. Just stretching and pulling. And once fully stretched out and on the screen looking nice and round, we can go down with everything else, including our sauce, which is just some straight up buffalo sauce today. And I did think about making my own buffalo sauce, as opposed to using just Frank's here, but I worried that in the oven the sauce could split, and then we'd have a bunch of greasy butter everywhere. So using this stuff that's pre-emulsified with xanthan gums and whatnot, I think will work out just fine, but just a nice little spread of our buffalo sauce on bottom. And then down with some whole milk, full fat mozzarella, low moisture. And I'm keeping this pie pretty simple today, folks, but I'd love to hear your suggestions in the comment section about how you would make a buffalo chicken pizza. Different types of cheese, different styles of chicken, plenty of ways to go about it. And then down with some chunks of our lovely chicken wings. As much or as little as you see fit. Looking good to me. And now we'll go down with a little more cheese on top, just for good measure. And for good measure, we'll go down with a little crushed red pepper on top as well. Why not? And now, let's launch. Got the old Gosney Arc XL fired up. Flame is on low when we're at 672 degrees for those keeping score at home. Simply enough, in we go. And now we're just going to start rotating it and getting some good color on that crust and make sure everything is nice and poofy and nicely cooked. And hopefully we don't catch anything on fire or burn any chicken or anything catastrophic. That tends to happen whenever I make pizza. The screen certainly does make things a lot easier. Starting to get some nice puffage on that crust. Maybe too much puffage. We're just rotating it, trying to get even browning all the way around. And after about a minute or two, it's time to try and get this thing off its pizza screen to make sure we toast up that bottom nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop that right on out of there and let that bottom start crisping up nicely while continuing to rotate. And that is looking pretty good to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out. Ow! And there we have it, folks. A beautiful, nice, poofy looking buffalo chicken pizza. Looking very nice. Cheese melted perfectly. Chicken got a little bit dark, but nothing too burnt. Feeling nice and crispy. Beautiful crust. Let's see how the underside looks. Woo! Good color. Bad camera angle. My bad. But to garnish this up, I'm going to go down with a little bit more hot sauce. Nice little drizz. This is the Melinda's buffalo sauce. Love this stuff. Really spicy though. Usually when we're making wings down at the Chud shop, it's a combination of Frank's buffalo sauce and this stuff. Highly recommend. A great combination, but this stuff by itself got a kick to it. And then we're gonna go down with a little bit of blue cheese, because this is a buffalo chicken pizza after all, but you can leave it off if you don't like it. But I'm a big blue cheese guy, although Brooke's not, so I'm gonna try and keep at least a slice here without it. But I did make 3 doughs, so I'll probably knock out another one of these. There we go. Slice in the back for Brooke. And then we'll go down with a zig of our homemade ranch. A lot of people like to dip pizza into ranch, so might as well just put it right on top. And then for a garnish, I got some leaves from some celery, just to look pretty, and add that classic blue cheese celery vibe that you're often gonna see with chicken wings. And I also got the tops from some carrots, because, you know, carrots, celery, buffalo wings, come on. And it looks pretty, and mildly healthier. And I don't know about you folks, but that looks pretty good to me. Let's slice on in. Oh, that was really uneven. And there we have it. A nice, fluffy, beautiful crust. Good color on the bottom. Looking good to me. Gotta say, folks, I'm pretty happy with how this came out. Holds up, great color, good burnishing on the crust, good toppings. Quite a bubbly pizza as well, but really, it's all about how it tastes. Right off the bat, it tastes like chicken wings, which is exactly what you want out of a buffalo chicken wing pizza. The chew on that meat is absolutely perfect. Really glad I went with wings as opposed to breast or thighs or something like that. Ooh, blue cheese bite. Spicy, funky, fluffy. I mean, that's just a good pizza right there, folks. I was supposed to ding. It didn't. Great puffage on that crust, too. Look, it looks like a smiley face or something. Hello there. So airy, so fluffy. It's not to like. Perfect amount of heat on that too. Not wimpy, but also not making me sprint for the toilet, if you know what I mean. But as much as I'd love to eat this entire pizza to myself, there's some hungry people inside. We're standing in perfect height order.
I know, I love it!
I mean, ladies.
Yes?
Would you like to try some buffalo chicken pizza?
Yeah!
Just in time for the big game that I'm legally not allowed to say the name of.
What
Really?
big game?
I don't know.
The superb owl.
The superb owl, yes.
The soupy doopy?
I don't know, they get kind of suey.
I didn't know that.
Do we cheers?
Cheers!
Clinkies. Ooh, yum. I don't think I've ever had buffalo chicken pizza.
I don't think I have either.
I haven't either.
But I was saying earlier that whenever Sundays roll around at the Chud shop, we're always making pizzas and chicken wings. So might as well combine the two, right?
Yeah, so you just spread the dip on there.
I'm actually coming to the Chud shop
That's
more.
spicy.
I like this.
Perfectly cooked crust.
I like when you do all the work of deboning my wings.
I like when you do all the work.
I like when you do all the work.
That's
then
why
I
you
get
keep
to
me
eat.
around.
Is this how your dough usually is?
It varies depending on my level of beer.
Some pickled celery would be good on this.
Ooh. Matt was suggesting we do a celery stuffed crust. What do you think about that?
Oh,
I don't like celery.
He didn't say that.
Celery is the one food I don't like.
Yeah, celery I can take it or leave it.
Ooh. It's good. I mean, that like when it's just spicy enough that you gotta take another bite. And then when you're done, you're kind of screwed. But there's crust, so that'll help a lot.
There you go. You got bread, you got
How about
ranch,
Yeah, the ranch is really good.
I'll try with some ranch.
Yeah.
and it's got a little bit of greenery on top, so it's healthy.
I like it.
Yum.
They're good.
Woo!
All right, folks, well, let us know in the comment section what the next pizza vid should be, because the world is our oyster. Oyster pizza?
Ooh, oyster pizza, stuffing pizza.
Ooh, Thanksgiving pie.
Yeah, Thanksgiving pizza does
We should
sound
just
good.
start a whole
good.
pizza channel. All right, I'm going to make another pizza.
Bye.
And with this very last mini slice of pizza, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic buffalo chicken pizza. I highly recommend giving this one a try. You know, it does take a little bit of foresight to make that dough a day ahead of time, but once you do that, it's an hour cook on the chicken and maybe 5 minutes in the oven, and then you're eating buffalo chicken wings in a totally different form factor. And it's absolutely fantastic. Definitely making this one again. It kind of scratches all the itches of pizza and chicken wings all at the same time. It's a crowd pleaser, real easy to make, and definitely something I'll be doing again very soon. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like. All on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!